Daniel Gafford, and you're watching Ball Control on YouTube. Hey, cue the intro.
What's good? BALLCONTROL. Ball Control family, I'm your host DJ, and today I got another top 10 video. Of course, if you ain't checked the last top 10 videos, I did a top 10 point guards list and I did a top 10 shooting guards list. Now today we're doing a top 10 small forwards, then tomorrow top 10 power forwards, then the next day top 10 centers, and then more content from there. But let's focus on today, top 10 small forwards of all time. You feel me? Before we hop in today, go down and hit the subscribe button, hit the like, but it don't take that long, you know what I'm saying? Go down there and do that, you know what I'm saying? Do that for your boy MJ, you feel me? Like, just go down there and hit that real quick, hit the sub and the like button. Again, y'all all quarantined, y'all ain't doing nothing, you ain't got nothing better to do. Might as well do that, show the video love and support, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, Ball Control is on the rise. Like, we are going to be the best NBA channel on the platform, and that's a fact. So y'all be ready for that. Basketball channel, period, we're going to be the best. Whether that's IRL, all that stuff, we're going to be the best. And, you know, my job is to provide top-notch content no matter what, so we can be the best. And y'all job is to spread the video. So why don't we all just help each other out, and you know what I'm saying? Hit that sub and the like button. That's all I ask for. That's all I want out of y'all. Spread the video. Let's get this thing popping. Now, before we hop into the list and before we hit the top 10, honorable mentions to Dominique Wilkins and Paul Pierce. Phenomenal NBA legends, you know what I'm saying? Guys that could do it all, scoring wise. Solid defenders, not great. And you know what I'm saying? Dominique Wilkins, who tore his Achilles and still came back and dropped 25 points per game post Achilles injury. So shout out to those two, but they don't crack my top 10. Now, let's kick off the top 10 list, and I got Rick Barry, small forward of the Golden State Warriors, you know what I'm saying? One-time Finals MVP. He made all NBA selections 6 times, led the league in steal, and led the league in assists. I mean, what more could you ask for from a prototypical small forward in Eric Berry? I mean, the guy was able to just do it all. Magnificent, could shoot the rock from anywhere on the floor, was able to facilitate and also stand in front of his man. So shout out to Rick Barry for cracking the top 10. Now, coming in at number 9, we got the big 0 rings. The guy that sadly retired and then the Lakers won a championship when he was gone. Y'all already know this guy, Elgin Baylor, small forward for the LA Lakers. Obviously a Laker great, all-time Laker, deserves to, I think he is in the Hall of Fame. He is in the Hall of Fame. But one of the best small forwards to ever do it. Averaged over 27 points per game, 11-time All-Star, won the Rookie of the Year, 10-time All-NBA first selections. Elgin Baylor, what more can you ask for? I mean, the man averaged 13 rebounds for a career. I mean, what more can you ask for from a small forward? He was able to do it all. The only thing that set Elgin Baylor back was him not having a championship. That was the only thing that set him back. Other than that, there ain't nothing you can really say or really argue Elgin Baylor being a top 10 small forward. The guy was unbelievable. Number 8, I got the goggles, man. James Worthy. I got James Worthy. Now, a lot of people like James Worthy, and I do too. I got respect for James Worthy. James Worthy, he's the definition of a 3-and-D small forward, able to do anything you want him to do. He was able to shoot the rock, go to the paint, guard the people's best defender. 3-time NBA champion, won the Finals MVP, 4 All-NBA first-team selections, 11 All-NBA selections. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, it's James Worthy. The man was magnificent. The man was able to, again, shoot the rock. You want him to pass a little bit, he could do that. You want him to go to the cup, he could do that. You want him to stay in front of his man, he can do that. James Worthy was that dude, bruh. James Worthy will go down and still is one of the best small forwards to ever do it. And will go down as an NBA legend. He already is a legend. So, James Worthy takes the number 8 spot. No doubt about it. No debate right there. I don't got a problem with that. Now, coming in at number 7, I got, this could be controversial, Scottie Pippen. I got Scottie Pippen. Everybody knows Scottie Pippen, the Mr. 7 years, $18 million contract. Mr. Everybody think was the second best player in the NBA at the time in the 90s, which was completely false. I don't know where people pull that shit out they ass from. But shout out to Scottie Pippen, though. Nonetheless, the man was able to do it as well. another point forward, small forward. Scottie Pippen was a brilliant passer. He was able to run the offense. He was able to shoot a little bit, not great of a shooter. He was able to get to the paint. He was a really good slasher. I mean, must I remind y'all the dunk that he did on Patrick Ewing? I mean, look at the screen, like that says it all. I mean, come on now, it's Scottie Pippen. God was brilliant on defense. And I mean, what is there to say about Scottie Pippen? I mean, the man won 6 NBA championships, was on all NBA first team 3 times, all NBA team 7 times, all defensive team 8 times, and all defensive teams 10 times, but all defensive team first time, which was the first thing I said. I meant to say he was all defensive first team 8 times. My correction. But nonetheless, Scottie Pippen. I mean, what is there to say? Everybody knows Scottie Pippen because of Michael Jordan. Everybody knows what Scottie Pippen was able to do for his time. Everybody know how good Scottie Pippen was. I don't even need to delve in a little on Scottie Pippen. But who I need to delve in, who came in at number 6, that everybody just overlooks, and I gotta get in a little bit on him, John Havlicek, and I got him ahead of Scottie Pippen at number 6. John Havlicek. You might be like, who the hell is that? Well, I'm gonna tell you who that is. He's an 8-time NBA champion, all with the Boston Celtics. 8-time NBA champion. He averaged 20 points per game for his career, 6.3 rebounds for his career, 4.8 assists, 8-time all-defensive team. 8-time all-defensive team. He made the all-defensive team 8 times, so he was able to do it on both ends of the floor. And made all-defensive first team 5 times. And made the all-NBA team 11 times, all-NBA first team 4 times, and won a Finals MVP. What is there to say about John Havlicek? If you don't know who that is, look him up. He has to be the most disrespected NBA legend of all time. John Havlicek was able to do it all. I mean, John Havlicek was your definition of a prototypical small forward. I mean, he was able to do it on all ends of the floor. Passing, you know what I'm saying? Scoring. You need him to score the ball. His best season, he averaged 28.9 points per game for his best season. 28.9 points per game, 1971. He averaged that. Almost 30 points per game. He doesn't get a lot of respect. He don't. Now, granted, his field goal percentages, they were meh. I mean, he averaged about like 43% from the field. But nonetheless, he was the primary ball handler. So, number 1 option. So, especially post Bill Russell. This is post Bill Russell, guys. Let's keep this in mind. No, he did not get carried by Bill Russell, none of that garbage shit. Actually, after Bill Russell retired, which was in 1969, John Havlicek still got the Celtics their championship. Post Bill Russell in the early 70s. So, yes, John Havlicek was the guy. I mean, what is there to, I don't see what is there to say. Assists, he was able to do it on all ends on offense. He averaged 7.5 assists for his best season. So he was able to facilitate, defend. I mean, John Havlicek, you don't know who that is, go look him up. You need to do some homework because he's definitely one of the most overlooked guys. I don't see how John Havlicek just gets overlooked in top 25 discussions or top 20 discussions. Like, he just gets overlooked. And I feel like that's disrespectful to somebody like him. That really is. And I think John Havlicek deserves a higher spot on certain people's list. He definitely deserves respect. But with all that being said, I got John Havlicek at number 6. Now, coming in at number 5, now we in the top 5. Now we in the good stuff. Now we in the nitty gritty. Now we really into controversial territory. Number 5, I got Durantula. I got Kevin Durant, Cupcake, whatever you like to call him, any nickname you like to call him. I got him at my number 5 spot. 1-time MVP, 2 final MVPs, averaging 27 points per game for his career right now. I mean, he got 2 championships. What are we talking about? I mean, Kevin Durant definitely is a top 5 small forward when it's all said and done. I mean, he is probably the most unguardable player that we have ever seen, or one of the most unguardable players of all time. Is he the most unguardable player? Probably not, but he's definitely in the top 5. He's definitely in that discussion. You got to, especially talent-wise, he's definitely up there. One of the most talented players to ever touch foot in this league. He's definitely up there as far as talent. So you got a 7-footer who's able to dribble like a point guard, able to shoot from anywhere on the floor. I mean, that's unguardable. That's unstoppable. That's unstoppable. But what separates Kevin Durant from the guys that got ahead of him is leadership and able to lead his team when you need him to. Or not even just that, when you're the primary leader on the team. Because what we saw in OKC, yeah, he got the OKC Thunder to the finals, but it was times, he couldn't lead them. He had to go to Golden State to learn leadership. Granted, I think going to Golden State was a smart decision because he wanted to play with real basketball players, because Russell Westbrook is not a good basketball player. I'm sorry. But he's just not, especially team-wise, like, he's just not it. That OKC team was pretty dumb, but they were pretty talented at the same time. They just didn't have the IQ like the Golden State Warriors. That's why Golden State beat their ass. That's why. So, and Golden State wasn't as talented as that 2016 OKC team. Everybody was expecting OKC to win. So, yeah. But Kevin Durant never showed. I feel like he got to go to the Brooklyn Nets. If he can win with the Nets, then he got my respect. If he can win with the Brooklyn Nets, he has my respect. And I think he could probably jump to maybe number 3. But until then, I got to see it. But that leads to number 4. Number 4, I got Kawhi Leonard, 2-time NBA champ. What is there to say about Kawhi? What is there to say about Kawhi Leonard? The man is 20. Keep in mind, the man is 27 years old, and he accomplished the unthinkable. He brought the Raptors a championship. And this is why I say I got Kawhi over Kevin Durant, because defensively, during the discussion between Kawhi and KD, offensively, there's times you can argue Kawhi and Kevin Durant. It's just Kevin Durant just a more talented offensive player. And obviously, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant on offense. But it's not far off. It's not. But defensively, it's far off. So that's why I say I'll probably take. That's why I say, okay, well, talent for talent, they're neck and neck, if you want to be honest. Because one guy's good at one thing, the other guy's good at the other. So now let's look at leadership. Let's look at what they accomplished. Well, Kawhi Leonard ended, 2 dynasties? He ended the Miami Heat's reign, and he ended Golden State's dynasty. Now, granted, Golden State dynasty, I made a video on Golden State. I feel like their dynasty isn't really done. But he put up a little monkey wrench into their plans. And I don't care what nobody say. I hate when people try to bring up, well, if Kevin Durant didn't get injured, they would have won. No one knows that. Let's be real. No one knows that. No one knows that the Warriors was going to beat the Raptors. I don't care what nobody say. You can't predict that. You can't really firmly say they would have won. What we do know is that the Raptors won and Kawhi Leonard beat the Warriors. That's what we know, and that's what we're going to use. You can't say, oh, well, this happened, because you're not there. You're not in the future. Or you're not in that universe, that polarized universe, the opposite universe, where you saw what would have happened. So sit back. You don't know. So I hate when people bring that up. So the fact is, Kawhi Leonard is just a greater leader on the court and off the court than Kevin Durant. That's just the bottom line. That's just facts. He's just a better leader. And that being said, leadership, I feel like, and he's also a better teammate. So leadership and teammate, those are crucial things when you're talking about who's the best players. I feel like those are definitely crucial aspects when you're talking about those type of arguments. And that's why I say yes, I feel like Kawhi for right now is ahead of Kevin Durant. I mean, what he did in Toronto was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. That playoff run that Kawhi had was Jordan-esque. So I say Kawhi definitely is number 4 ahead of Kevin Durant. But I know people gonna have KD over Kawhi because of talent and all that stuff. But number 3, I got Dr. Dre. I got Julius Erving. I got the man that did the most iconic up and under layup that you have ever seen. I got Julius Erving. Julius Erving, again, was able to do it on both ends of the floor. He wasn't a great 3-point shooter. Wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. Julius Erving, I mean, he changed. As far as like helping save the NBA, he was a part of that. Julius Erving was a part of saving the NBA. And there was a point in time where he was the best player in the league. So yes, Julius Erving, I feel like he definitely deserved number 3 spot. I mean, he won the MVP. He got the Sixers a championship when they didn't have shit, when Philly was dog shit. So Julius Erving did it, man. I definitely think he deserves number 3, and I don't think he gets a lot of credit, especially in certain discussions. He just gets overlooked. Him and John Havlicek don't get a lot of respect. And I feel like, I made this YouTube channel. I made channels to kind of like help bring up certain legends that don't get talked about, and I'll just keep it real, man. If y'all like this channel, I keep it real. You feel me? But yeah, I got Julius Erving at number 3, and then number 2 and number 1. I feel like it's really close. I don't care what nobody say. It's super close. To this day, I don't see how LeBron blows Larry Bird out the water. People think Larry Bird is just like not even in the conversation being better than LeBron, even though he is. Like, it's just ridiculous. But number 2, I'm gonna put Larry Bird in my number 2 spot. Look, Larry Legend was able to shoot everywhere on the floor. One of the most skilled players. Like, the reason why I took a big guess, because it's like it's amazing how people just forget how skillful, how good of a passer this guy is. He was able to dot up anywhere on the floor. He was able to shoot the ball anywhere on the floor. I mean, the man is one of the best shooters that the league has ever seen. He won 3 MVPs in a row. 3 MVPs in a row in an era where small forwards were heavily at their best. Believe it or not, small forwards was at their best in the 80s. Yes, it was deep. You had Bernard King, Mark Aguirre, Dominique Wilkins. You had a lot of these small forwards coming into the league in the 80s, and Larry Bird just dominated. Dennis Rodman, because at the time Dennis Rodman played small forward, believe it or not. Dennis Rodman, like, come on. James Worthy, like, there were small forwards in the league that was magnificent, man. Like, small forward in the 80s was at one of his peaks, and Larry Bird dominated for his position. So he deserves the number 2 spot. 3 MVPs in a row. Took a Celtics team that was 21-61 and flipped them his rookie year, 61-21. And I'm gonna put up some clips of him passing. Like, look at the vision that this man got. He's one of the best passers, man, of all time. In my opinion, he's number 2. But yeah, enough said on Larry Legend. Then number 1, I got King James. What is there to talk about? It's LeBron. It's the King. Like, come on, he's the best small forward probably of all time. He'll go down as the best of all time. Like, come on, bro. He's gonna break pretty much every statistical record. 3-time NBA champion. 3-6 in the finals. Had to throw that out there. I mean, come on. LeBron made 6 all defensive teams. He could defend if he wanted to and stop. When he stopped crying, he could defend. I mean, he's a solid passer. He's not a better passer than Larry Bird. I'm sorry, he's not. But yeah, LeBron definitely is number 1, but that's gonna cap off the list. You feel me? So y'all go in the comment section and let me know what y'all list. Hit the subscribe button. Salute to everybody at home. Salute for watching the video. I'm your host DJ. I'm out.